carpet is beautiful.
Okay. Do you want to double check? Yeah, it's running. So I don't know.
Tell us when we are live.
Is it okay? Like this? So mine is running already. Good.
Okay. So I'll Hello?
Test.
Sa, sa, sa. Prova, prova, prova. Welcome, everybody, to this new episode of the My Data Guest series.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a live stream live from the KNIME Fall Summit in Austin.
So we are here streaming from Austin from the KNIME Fall Summit. And as you see, we are standing on a yellow carpet because the next presentation is going to be the COTM Awards. So we are waiting for the COTM awardees to come downstairs, and maybe we get a chance to ask a few questions about KNIME and about the data science.
Yeah. So COTM, what does that actually mean? So I guess can explain. It stands for Contributor of the Month. And it is basically community members that are A, very active, and B, also using KNIME on an expert level. Did I forget anything?
That's correct.
Awesome.
So you actually got a COTM award, right?
Yes.
So you are going to be on stage?
Yes, and I'm already a little bit nervous about it.
So can you tell us what did you get the COTM award for?
Well, I got it back in 2021, April, so I'm pretty happy that I'm here right now. And I got it for a, would say, kind of nerdy topic. So I used KNIME to basically support my role-playing game efforts. So I was doing a lot of manual stuff there. I play Dungeons and Dragons, and what I basically did is I used KNIME to automate several creation processes. So I could have something like a small village with a tavern. If you play role-playing games, you probably know how important taverns are, automatically. And that was obviously well received.
Okay, very nice. Sounds like a very interesting application to get an award that deserves an award. So you are going to get an award that is on stage, but I want to give you a pre-award. So just a second, just a second. I will be back. So here is a book that we have prepared for our COTM awardees.
Wonderful.
So that's the first copy ever around that you are receiving.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored again.
So it contains contributions from all the different COTM awardees. So there is also your contribution. You know which one, right?
Yeah.
We had to ask for permission, so you know that.
And I just read the electronic copy, so I wasn't aware that there will be a physical copy, and I read the electronic copy. And what I really liked about it is the fact that it is a very wide array of use cases. So it's not just like nerd stuff like I have done, but it covers a lot of use cases, and that shows once again how versatile KNIME as a tool is, and that it can apply to many, many different situations. And I guess the book, so you probably should get it and download it from the KNIME website. Basically shows a lot of inspirational stuff and use cases that you, I guess, can use or adapt to in your daily KNIME life, so to say.
Exactly. So the COTM awardees are 25 because we are awarding the ones from August 2020 until July 2022. We have 25 because there are 24 months, but in a month we had twins. So we have the 2 people awarded, I thought it was January 2021. So yeah, definitely. This is the book. This is printed, but then the free version online can be downloaded from the KNIME Press webpage. It was uploaded just yesterday or just a few days ago. So
All
please
right.
have a look, download it, and check the Dungeons and Dragons contribution by Phil.
Yeah. Yeah, and I see a lot of familiar faces. So these are also the people, I guess I would say, looking at the avatars, these are the people, if you have any questions, I just need to talk about the community a little bit because it's so great. Whenever I introduce KNIME to anyone, I just say, hey, what's so special about KNIME? And it's a lot of things, but it's community, I guess it's an important part because if you look at certain places, sometimes the tone is rough, not so in the KNIME forum. You might ask the same question for the 20th time, and people still provide you with an answer, and not just with an answer, but with examples. So that's a huge um, advantage in regards to learning the tool as well. So really good to see so many familiar faces here.
Great, great. And we have to give thank you to Lisa. Lisa is not here, but she's the one who put together the booklet and the graphics for the booklet.
Awesome.
So talking talking about the Fall Summit. So what did you do? You arrived yesterday?
I arrived on Saturday,
On Saturday?
actually, and today I had a wonderful training with Scott and some of your colleagues, basically about data extraction and data visualization. And that once again showed how great a tool KNIME basically is, because there is a lot of, yeah, I would say programming logic, if you want, that you can do without writing code. So it's the visual advantage of KNIME, so to say. Also, it's not just like for data cleansing or something, but you also can use it in the more advanced use cases. And today I learned a lot of these advanced use cases, so that was very interesting.
Great. So there was data visualization, dashboards, outlier detection. I think there
Yes,
was in there
exactly.
as well. So for identifying frauds, for example, or
Yeah.
other similar things. Today is the first day of the Fall Summit. So as you know, for the ones of you who have already been at the Fall Summit before, the first day is dedicated to trainings. For this edition of the Fall Summit, we had only 4 trainings. We could have had many more, but you know, the Fall Summit lasts only that many days, so we have to contain ourselves. So the 4 trainings, that's why at the moment it's so empty, and we are waiting for people to exit from the trainings and from the classes, and then to come downstairs. So it's the trainings are still going on.
Mhm.
We had one course about the introduction to KNIME, so the classic L1, L2. Then we had the one about data visualization and data blending. Then we had a data engineering course. And then we had a course about productionization. So those are all relatively advanced course besides the L1, L2 introduction.
But I really like that you always offer the whole scope, or a lot of this scope, so to say, because I have some colleagues, and probably we have a chance to interview one or two of them, and they also said exactly the same. They said you can still go to the KNIME Summit even though you're not level 4 or highly expert, so you always gain something when you come here. There is something for everybody, and that's something, I guess, that is very, or makes KNIME so popular, probably in the community. It's not just like, yeah, you have to, don't go to the training if you don't know XYZ. You can basically start your KNIME journey here. So, and that's something I really like a lot as well.
Right, and for the other courses, the ones that we didn't run here, you can still take them either on the self-paced courses platform that is available on the KNIME website, or at the next instance of the course with instructor online. For example, I heard that some people wanted to have the machine learning course. This year we didn't run the machine learning course. We can't run all possible courses. We have too many. Next time, at the next edition, we are going to run the machine learning course in Berlin.
So maybe I can ask you a question as well.
Please.
So I wonder how it feels for you. We all have suffered a little bit, maybe more than just a little bit, from the recent years where we only could do it virtually. So maybe you share a few, yeah, feelings or ideas how it feels to be back here in person. How does that feel for you after, what was it, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, 2 years and a half
Yeah.
easily. Yeah, yeah. So that's it's fantastic. I thought that we would be forgotten because the world has changed after COVID, especially the world of events. So we are. I mean, there are a number of people, and the atmosphere, the feeling is electrifying again. And that, frankly, after 2 years of isolation, is fantastic. It's finally we are back. We are back with all the people. Tomorrow there are going to be all the presentations. It's fantastic. Yeah, finally, finally.
Yeah, and I have the similar feeling too. It's just like, may I say, maybe it's just like this family vibe a little bit. So it's just like when you sit in a training and people just ask the same questions that just popped up in your head when you were going through a training. It's just like, these people understand what we're talking about, and that's really, really awesome. And like, the community online has a lot of advantages, but I guess also having the opportunity to directly address, for example, a trainer if you have a specific question, that's pretty cool.
I see Dean Abbott there. Dean, come here. We want to interview you. Hi, Dean.
Hi.
We have an interview post here. For this. We are live. So just saying, we are live. Right.
I arrived this afternoon in the rain.
Shocking because in Austin it never rains.
That's right. It's not supposed to rain here. And I came from San Diego where it doesn't rain, so it was a little challenging.
It's already an experience today.
Right.
Yeah, I see. So, what tomorrow you are going to present? Can you tell us something about the presentation tomorrow?
Well, we're going to talk. Well, it's all up to Michael, of course. Whatever direction Michael wants to take John and me, and he's going to also hurt us so that we don't get too far off script. But it's going to be about how to deploy models, how to understand what the models are looking like from a business perspective, the infrastructure around making models useful, and not just something like we data science geeks love to do and just play with the models. They actually should be used eventually.
So it's not like stopping at the 99% accuracy.
That's right. No. Please don't get me started on that. I could get started on that.
Please go on. We have time.
No, the worst metric in the world, I think, is at percent accuracy, because it does not relate to the business. I want to tie the dollars to revenue, to retention, something like that, and not just the accuracy. Yeah, like, you know how the joke goes. You could make a model 99.9% accurate for a fraud detection that has 0.1% fraud by calling everyone non-fraud. Of course, it's not interesting, but it's still really accurate, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So.
Yes, so I just asked the same question to Rosaria. It would be interesting to know how it feels for you, so that we can be back here, having a summit live together, just compared to how it was virtually.
I just love it. The in-person is so much better because you get all those conversations with other attendees. You meet new people, you start talking about things that maybe you hadn't thought about before, and how you could apply these techniques in your business and be successful. And so the virtual stuff, it's nice and it's better than nothing, but there's nothing that beats in person. And so just to see people getting that vibe, the reaction, it's so much more enjoyable.
That's true.
I'm super happy that we're back live and in person.
So that's really interesting, because we had the similar experience, right? That you can, it's inspirational, and yeah. So really looking forward to the next days.
Tell us which project you're working about now.
Well, my company Wonderkin is all about customer analytics. So the last thing I was building for them is a new product recommendation engine, which looks at what I call facets, different characteristics about the products, and then trying to understand what shoppers are which combination of those facets they're most interested in, then finding matches on the website for those products that other shoppers have also found interesting. So it's a way of doing product recommendations, but it's very narrow to a particular subset of products instead of saying anything that anybody looked at. So it's new, it's interesting, and it's so far it's looking really promising. So I'm really excited about it.
So maybe we will see you next year talking about the project.
Oh, that would be fun. I'm always game for coming back next year.
Okay. We'll see if the course now. We're waiting for the people.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah. Thank
Great.
you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Thank you.
And that's
Anybody
just
around
that's just another testament, right? That how versatile it is. You can do very simple stuff, but you also can do just like the pretty advanced stuff, and you still stick in the same tool. And that's also something I guess that's quite valuable about KNIME. With the simple stuff, you just learn the language, and you just continue speaking it, so to say. And that's really interesting about KNIME. And
It would be interesting actually to have an overview of all possible use cases that people have produced. Maybe that could be the next project, hunting down all different use cases
yeah,
that people have produced.
yeah, definitely. And I guess the contributor of the month, or also like the new version of the Will It Blend book that is
Mhm.
also, I guess, available since.
The Will They Blend book, yeah, we have a printed version here only for the attendees of the courses. It's not for everybody.
So you must come
Limited
to the next
edition,
summit.
limited edition only. So luxury item.
So come to the next summit, definitely. So definitely worth it.
Yeah,
But,
so the Will They Blend book, we have it. Yeah, and then there are a lot of stories. I think there are 35 stories in there.
Yeah.
They are relatively easy story, not complex ones, but they show how you can access different data sources, mix data together and get something useful out of them. The first people are coming out of the courses.
so we
Let's
just
see.
grab a few of them.
Maybe. Let's see who's available to be interviewed.
Let's see if we
I
can.
see Devon. Do you want to be interviewed?
So people are a little bit shy.
Yeah, you know.
So quick. When you did arrive on Saturday as well, or yesterday?
I arrived on Friday.
Oh, on
Yeah,
Friday.
so my jet lag is almost over.
Okay.
Almost. By
Almost.
the time I have to go back, my jet lag is going to be
Okay.
has disappeared.
Did you have a chance to look around here in Austin?
No, this time no, not so
Okay.
much. I did some time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Also, the weather was not cooperating this time.
Yeah.
So
Some predictions were because basically we ran it. I just asked the weather service before. Just said it will be sunny. So probably.
okay, so during the award ceremony, the one that is going to be started is going to be led by Scott. So let's see, and we have trophies. They look very nice, but I don't know. I don't have a trophies now here, so maybe you can come back and show us the trophy.
Yeah, maybe we share a photo. If you leave a like under wherever you are seeing this, we probably post a photo of the trophy. Always trying to motivate the people to give us these social signals, so to say.
So I have a question for you.
Mhm.
You read the time series analysis, codeless time series analysis book. So can you tell us a bit what your review about the codeless time series
I
analysis
must admit
book is?
I'm not yet finished with it, but what I really like about it is, so I'm like halfway or 2/3 through, but what I really like about it is it really starts at the beginning, and especially if you're into like yeah, how would I say it's to a non-expert date-driven data, and you probably want to make some forecasts or some predictions based on the data that you have. It's a great book, definitely, because it takes you from very simple to, I would dare to say, pretty complex, but all through use cases, and that's always better than just a theoretical lecture, right? So
Right.
that's always very interesting, and I like also how it introduces to a certain extent even KNIME to people that are new to KNIME. And it what I liked at the beginning very much was that it also talks about the definitions. Okay, this is what you have to understand under these terms. So it really takes you from, I would say, from zero to hero when it comes to time series. So also definitely a must buy, I would say.
So we are going to have a few copies here that we are going to give away tomorrow. And there is a book signing event tomorrow morning at 10. Well, of course, with the authors of the Codeless Time Series Analysis, but also with the author of the Will They Blend and of the codeless deep learning. So tomorrow, just a few copies is not going to last too long. But if you're here, just show up tomorrow at 10 and we can give you an autographed copy. Cory should be here. The author of the codeless time series analysis should eventually come downstairs.
Yeah.
So what about the, the feature that you like the most of KNIME?
I'm not sure if it's a single feature. It's difficult. It's a little bit like asking, what is your, if you have more than one kid, it's just like, which one is your preferred one? Well, they all are, right?
It's like the most useful feature.
Yeah, the most useful.
That you cannot say to kids.
It is very
right?
simple, but I guess it's like the traffic lights under the notes, because it just like in an instant shows me if everything went well or not, and like this very simple mechanic that everyone gets. That's just like, I would also say for me, that started it all, because I mean, that's, you don't even have to explain how it works, right? It's just like, hey, that's red, yellow, green. In regards to, if we're talking about nodes and preferred nodes, something like this, I would probably say it's the aggregation nodes. Because it's a lot of the work that I usually do, aggregating data, so like the group bys and pivoting nodes and these kind of things. And they're the most welcome feature, I would say, is basically that I can automate it, because whenever I introduce KNIME to someone, I'm telling the people, you know what, you're sitting West Coast USA, you're probably one of the most expensive employee zones that you can be on the planet. You shouldn't do copy paste stuff in Excel, right? So please create a KNIME workflow, automate it, and make useful or make sense of your time instead of copy paste for hours.
Right. So tomorrow there is going to be a presentation about the new features of KNIME. So I think that Christian is going to introduce the KNIME Business Hub.
Oh,
and
okay.
yeah, the new one. And there is going to be also, I think, something about the new upcoming UI. So I'm curious to see that tomorrow.
Yes.
I mean, we see already something, the new UI. There is a under lab. There is a small set of nodes for people who want to try it, but tomorrow we are going to hear more about that. Did you try them? Did you try the new UI?
I tried a few of the widget nodes, like the visualization nodes.
Okay,
What I
the
really
new ones.
Yeah, exactly. What I really loved about them is that it's this auto update feature. Maybe it's not important from a data science perspective, but like it makes it just feel so modern and easy to use. So it just looks like it looks, basically these nodes look like an app, so to say, and that's very welcome, and
okay,
probably something that the people would also expect to see these days.
Perfect. So tomorrow, I mean, there is a lot of expectations, a lot of curiosity about tomorrow. Paul Wisniewski is coming, so maybe we can ask him, if we can ask him a few questions. Let's see if he's available to be interviewed.
Yes.
Hi, Paul. He tried to run away looking somewhere else, but he didn't manage.
Just
So you're going to receive the COTM award now. You're going on stage. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Okay. Can you tell us the project you got the COTM award?
I've just been a blogger, writing articles for the KNIME blog on medium.com.
So, but I saw some of your blog articles, and they were about, I remember, football, and tell us something about.
I love maker challenges. I love unusual uses of technology. I work in the government space, so I usually don't talk about what I do for a living. So I look for fun things, silly things to write about, anything the kids can do or draw people in.
So your articles are very math heavy. So I've read a lot of articles in general, and yours are the best from a mathematical point of view. So yeah, do you want to tell us something about what you want to achieve when you explain things?
I like to educate. I love teaching math. I love mentoring. So I try to pull in concepts, but demonstrate them in the real world to tie it back. It's a lot to do. I work a lot in schools and different challenges.
So I also read your article about I'm not sure, was it about generating snowflake shapes, fractal snowflakes? And I just, I was amazed by the content. I wonder, how do you come up with these ideas? I would say, looking at the data analytics platform, it's probably not the most common use case.
No, I mean, it speaks to the flexibility of KNIME that you can play with it. And I use KNIME because it is so approachable by kids and everything. If you remember way back, if you're as old as me, you remember way back to Scientific American, and there was a guy, A.K. Dudney, who did fun mathematical challenges. So that's kind of the inspiration as I look for stuff like that. Make a fractal snowflake, or you can calculate pi by flipping a coin. That type of thing just blows me away.
So you can read his blog post on the Medium journal, as he said, Low Code for Advanced Data Science. So please look for Paul Wisniewski on Low Code for Advanced Data Science. They're worth it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Cory is here. Cory?
So we just pick him.
Yes.
You cannot avoid us.
No.
Camera.
Yeah, look at the camera is there. I think one there and one there. So
Interview going.
we are supposed to ask the questions. Not okay.
How's it going?
It's going well. We have been here waiting for people to come downstairs and ask questions. So you happen to be. Actually, we talked about your book. I asked him for a review live about your book. Only good things.
Good things. Yeah. We just finished teaching the L4 data engineering course. So we wrapped up a little bit early. We're hanging out in the room for a bit, and now we're down here looking for snacks and such before the next ceremony starts.
So how was the course? How was the teaching? Was it complicated? Lots of questions?
It went really well. I mean, it's a really heavy course with lots of content. But after a while, you start seeing some repetition. We talk about different cloud systems that you can connect to for stuff like Spark environments, and cloud systems and databases and Hadoop systems. And they all kind of work the same. You don't really realize it until you talk about it for 8 hours straight. But
I see a pattern there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a pattern. It repeats. Database is the same as Google, is the same as Amazon, and you get familiar with it after a while.
So what's the content of the course?
So the data engineering course talks a lot about how to build proper, scalable, reusable, maintainable solutions with KNIME, right? So we talk about how to build separated workflows here with orchestration. So we use the call workflow service stuff to separate maybe your pre-processing from your modeling, or maybe separate your anonymization stuff from your data loading. And in that way, it's much easier to manage, to separate who works on which parts of your process, and stuff like that. So it just gives you a lot more opportunity to scale and maintain your problems.
Yeah, I just wanted, as I've at least partially read your book and I liked it a lot, I just wanted to know, maybe that's too curious of a question, but how long did it take from the idea, hey, maybe we should do a book, until it's finally out?
Too long, let's say. Far, far too long. I think from planning to release was maybe a year, just over a year, maybe. The writing process, originally we had planned to get it all done in like 3 or 4 months. Maybe it was 4.5, I'm not sure, something like that. But my half took me a bit longer than 4 months. So we stretched it a couple months. And yeah, it was a lot of work to write a book of that length. You don't really think about it too much, because the first 50 pages are fun and you're like, yeah, this is really cool. I finished a chapter. I'm going to write another one. And then you get 2 chapters in, 3 chapters in, and you're like, God, I have to write 3 more chapters still.
Yeah, writing a book is a marathon.
Yeah. And how did you come up with the use cases? We just told the audience that that is not. I would say it has theory in it, but it's all driven by use cases. I would say as a reader. So how did you come up with the use cases? Are these all your use cases, or is that something from the community, or?
So the use cases really come from a variety of people. Mara and I probably were the main source of some of these use cases. Some of them are older. Some of them are a Irish energy usage data set that Rosario worked on quite a bit in the past. We used that one in the time series analysis course. So we pulled from a lot of different spaces. We were really working on time series analysis content for years before the book was something that we could do. So we had to get ready with use case examples. We had to get ready with, blog posts from the past, courses from the past. We had to build out all of the components that represent the functional pieces in the book. So there was a lot that went into just that space of effort in the years before the book came out, really. So if you count that, it took a long time to get that book out there. Yeah.
It's definitely worth getting. I would say, as a reader, as a consumer, I would say it's definitely worth getting because there are so many time series use cases in all walks of life, business or not business or scientific. So it's really, really a great work. So congratulations.
Thank you. I need to pick up my copy.
Okay.
So again, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, book signing event. You can find Cory and get a copy of his book.
Yes.
Thank you, Cory.
Thank you very much.
We have Phil here. Maybe we can ask something. Let's see if Phil is available to be interviewed. Phil, would you like to answer a few questions?
Yes. Awesome.
So Phil interviews Phil.
Yes.
Okay. So what
We are streaming live to the internet, so to say.
I have to have a microphone. Okay, we're streaming live to the internet.
That's right.
Okay. Do I have a shirt on? Yes. Okay.
You do.
Absolutely. You can stay. We'll go back and forth. We'll sing together. So, what are people asking?
We are basically we turn it around. We are asking people. So,
Uh,
let me ask you a question.
Okay.
I met you on the 2019 Spring Summit
Okay.
in Berlin.
Right.
And I saw you as Professor Dumbledore.
ah,
Let me ask you the question: how does it feel to look normal again?
well, as I said back then, I prefer the Professor Dumbledore costume because when you get to a particular age, like my age, you should be allowed to wear what you want to wear.
That's
But to be honest, with all of the security and things going on at the moment, wearing lots of beards and lots of hair
Yeah.
and things is not a good idea. So I gave up on the beard for this year.
probably.
But we do have a surprise for tomorrow. So if people are going to tune in,
Okay.
hopefully for the conference, and join us, there's always a bit of surprise in the presentation I do. And there's one for them too. Yes, a question.
So are you going to dress up tomorrow?
No, but we're going to do something different that we think will work just as well. And nobody know. You see the eyes, all the executives at KNIME are going, what's he going to do? Well, you'll just have to stay tuned.
It is scary.
It's scary.
But that's a good teaser. So if you not have yet signed up for the virtual event,
Absolutely.
definitely should do because it's always worth seeing what you guys present here.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Phil. I see Keith. Maybe
Thank
we
you
can
very much.
interview Keith.
Yes.
We can ask Keith. Let's see if he wants to be interviewed. There is. You
Yeah,
want to be interviewed?
We just pick people. Nobody can run away.
And here we have Keith McCormick.
Welcome.
See everybody at the event.
You can steal my microphone like Phil did. So
Yeah.
perfectly okay.
If you want to ask us a question, probably that's what Phil just did.
So where were you? One of the training.
Yeah, I went to the more basic data prep training this morning because I thought that the examples would be really helpful for my UC Irvine classes.
But you came as a spy then, because you know already everything about KNIME.
Yeah, I suppose that's the case. You borrow and repurpose. That's something that all educators do, I think.
So did you find something useful to recycle?
Yeah, elaborate integration examples are very hard to put together. I'm sure you know that because you've done it. Practice examples, usually the data prep is already done. So I found it very helpful.
So there is also the other course that was around today, the one for data engineers. They also have a lot of data sources and data blends.
Very tempted by that one. That's the one that would be more interesting to me personally, but I have a course revision coming up, and that's why
I see.
So you are, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, one of the more famous teachers of KNIME, also to university students. Can you share with us a little bit how or what one of the advantages of a KNIME is over, like, let's say, a pure quote unquote programming language using KNIME to teach it to students?
Well, if I'm well known at all, it's certainly from the LinkedIn Learning courses, not from the courses that I do at UC Irvine. But the course at UC Irvine, I have to do homework. And that's really where this has been so helpful. I mean, really in both venues. But, there's so many courses where you're 3 or 4 weeks into the course and you haven't really done any concepts yet. And that's what I love about KNIME. I can give a quick little, maybe 30-minute assignment where they orient themselves, and the bulk of the assignment is on the concepts that I want to teach, whether it's decision trees or data prep advice or things like that.
No, go ahead.
Can you tell us something about your latest project you're working on?
Well, I have a course that's coming out. It could be even this week. There's so much post-production. It's really impressive what they do over, at LinkedIn Learning, how much work they do after the course is done. So I think I finished what I had to do in maybe August, but this one is exciting because it's called Advanced Trees, but it's not really advanced machine learning as much as it brings in some advanced tips and tricks in KNIME in the form of running things, for instance, that aren't available in KNIME directly, but you can run via Python. And I'm really excited to see, what kind of audience that finds, because that will be a little bit different. But now that I've done 5 or 6 KNIME courses, I'm starting to build up a little bit of a KNIME community in LinkedIn Learning, which is exciting.
Great. Yeah, I monitor your courses on LinkedIn Learning, and I see people, they take them and they post about them. So definitely there is an audience about it.
I think so too.
So then the baby's due any day now.
Yes, literally. I think they said the 14th. Isn't that like any day? Yeah.
Yeah, today.
But it's a bit like a real baby in that's an estimate.
So it's definitely
About
like
a couple of days.
definitely something to look at if you look at LinkedIn Learning. So do you also maybe you can share some? You see, I'm a little bit on this keen on this education thing, and do you also get feedback from your real life students, so to say? And if so, what do they say, especially about KNIME?
Well, again, it's exciting working in both venues. As with the UC Irvine students, I get the homework, and I'm always telling people that's my favorite thing is grading the homework, and no one believes me. But the reason is, if you do a consulting gig for a client, obviously you want the solution to work, but you're not getting the kind of experimentation that students will do, going down rabbit holes and sometimes, of course, making mistakes, but mistakes can be a healthy thing if it's in a controlled environment. So I get a lot of feedback from them. LinkedIn Learning, of course, is just a larger volume. It's thousands or tens of thousands participants as opposed to a couple dozen. So I get a very different kind of feedback, but that's exciting too. There's Q&A, and then actually, I mean, there's nothing official about this, but now that it's getting up to about a half dozen courses, I think it's time for a learning path on LinkedIn Learning. And I think it's just a matter of time before that's approved and we see that, which would be wonderful, so then it's like a 6-course series and hopefully get, thousands of folks to do that.
So one last question before we let you go to the coffee break. Which presentations are you going to attend tomorrow?
Oh, I've loaded the app and I know where all that information is, but I haven't picked the sessions yet.
Okay, then we'll see. We'll get surprised tomorrow.
You folks always put on a wonderful show. I always enjoy it when I get to attend.
Thank you. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for answering
Amazing.
the questions. There is Scott.
Yes.
We can ask Scott now what's going to happen in the next presentation. Thank you.
Thanks.
Scott.
You have to come here. As we said to everybody else, you cannot avoid us.
There's no escape. That's okay though.
There is also Alina. We have plenty of people.
Yes.
Okay. We're good.
All right. So we're back live on the KNIME Summit, not just virtually. How does it feel for you?
I tell you what, it's been a busy day. There's a lot going on. I taught a course today and we're about to do the awards. And so there's with so many people around, so many people to meet and greet, there's just a lot to keep track of. But that's the way it goes when you're at KNIME Summit. That's the bonus, is you get to see so many people. So
what's going to happen in the award?
We're going to call some folks up on stage who are actually here to be able to accept their awards. We'll get to hear from them a little bit, what they've been working on. For the folks that actually couldn't come, We have a short video presentation. They'll be able to talk about some of the things they were doing. So it's really just an opportunity for us to highlight our community and what makes them shine. So I'm looking forward to it.
Great. We look forward to it too.
Yes.
It's going to be on stage.
And I took your course on data extraction and data visualization, and I must say it's great. And so yeah, if you have the, is it available online as a self-paced course as well?
That's a good question. I don't think that one is yet, is it?
Not yet as a self-paced course, but it's going to be available with the online instructor. We usually run it a few times before it becomes self-paced because we want to make sure we cover all possible mistakes or things
Yeah.
that are not clear.
And all credit to our curriculum designers on that, because they did a great job putting together something that, you know, hopefully is really accessible to everyone. But I think some of the people that were there learned something new today too. So
Awesome. So we're really looking forward to that. And you just have to look to the I guess it's the education part of the KNIME website where we usually find this.
On the learning and then courses.
Yeah. So make sure you look there, guys.
lots of stuff for you to find. Okay.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks a lot, Scott.
We let you go because otherwise you can, the
That's right.
awardees don't get
I gotta go get on stage and get ready. So
See you later.
Aline.
So we're picking up the next persons coming.
We can talk to SJ.
Yes, come over here.
Okay. Please. So
That looks
that's
awesome.
an apron.
Yes, from the 2019 Fall Summit.
Okay, why are you going around with an apron?
Well, I haven't had an excuse to wear it otherwise, and I don't own a grill, so
And today there is a ceremony. So it's a ceremony apron.
ceremonial apron for sure. Yes, yes.
I see. So tell us the occasion.
I guess I was a contributor of the month a couple of years ago. Yeah, and through a series of events, I was convinced to work at KNIME myself.
So where is your apron?
Sorry?
Where is your apron?
I don't have one, but yeah, I know what I'm aiming for now. So
yeah.
because I'm a barbecue person, so it will be interesting. These days you can track temperature of barbecue with a smart app. That would be interesting to see what
I think-
drives a good spare rib.
I think you might have earned.
No,
yes.
too much honor, too much honor.
I don't know. See the videos. You,
So tell us what you won the award for.
I made a couple components on KNIME Hub that were used. They're, I think, number 3 and 4 of our most popular components. And I think I just got in at the right time where they covered a couple small feature gaps. And so they were used quite a bit by the community. Yeah.
I remember, yeah, they were very popular.
Yeah. So it's actually quite cool to think of what unknown use cases the components are being used in, you know?
There is always space for a new one.
I will take that into serious consideration and get on that immediately. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, SJ.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
And here we have Aline.
Hello,
Hi,
welcome.
Aline. So, sorry. Hello. So Aline was the teacher of the
L3WP course on productionization of data apps.
So what does it mean, productionization of data app?
Basically, you have a data science solution that you build and that you can consume on your own. But say that now you want a larger audience to consume that without actually having, for example, to see the workflow. They would like to interact with that and get insights from that through a web interface, right? Without actually having to see the workflow. So in order to have something like that, you have to put your data app that you created locally into production. So that's the productionization of a data app. And then there it is. It's released. It has an address, right? You can share this address with your audience, and then they just put that address on their web browser, and they don't have to see the workflow, but there's still interaction with that and getting insights from that.
So, and how did the course go?
I think it went well. There were lots of questions. In the end, we actually had to hurry a bit to stay, stick to the schedule, but that's a good sign, right? People had many questions, very interested about what KNIME Server can do, if there were certain nodes that did this and that, different ideas for feature engineering. There were many different questions. It was really cool.
So how does it, I've experienced you as a teacher in one of the virtual instructor-led courses, and it was awesome. So Maybe a challenging question was that is there any difference for you between like training it virtually versus training it in front of a live audience, so to say? And if there is a difference, what does it feel like?
There is a difference, right? Because usually when you are in front of a live audience, people feel more comfortable to ask questions. And then you have to be able to stop what you're doing, answer, and then come back to the pace, come back to the zone, right? So there is this flow of interruption, which is very creative too. I mean, it's more of an organic, it feels more alive in a way. It's less under your control. So it requires better preparing too. Precisely because there is more interruption. But I personally think I think it's cooler. I think it's cooler to teach live.
Yeah, and I guess it's also great to see the people's reactions, right? So
Exactly. You can read the room more easily too. You see that people are not understanding something, they start looking at you, and then you realize very quickly, okay, let me try a different metaphor.
good. So if you ever have the chance to get one of Aline's course, whether live or virtually, that instructor course, you just have to take it.
Sure, appreciate that.
Thank you, Aline.
Thanks a lot.
And here we have Ivan. Hi, Ivan.
See you again.
Did I say correctly? Evan. Ah,
Hey.
Evan.
Awesome.
Okay, so you are here also for the Contributor of the Month ceremony award.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
So what did you win the award for?
For helping help coordinate the user group on Facebook. We've got a small active user group there that asks, not quite as complicated questions as they would want to go to the forum for, but easy questions where if you just need some additional help or some guidance on what to do. If you're new to KNIME, we got a lot of new people that show up. I'm just trying to guide them to the appropriate resources to get them started on their analytics journey.
So you're doing basically the onboarding for the new users.
A little bit, and making sure that we're not getting kids, coming in and asking us to do their homework for them. So that's the biggest thing.
Does it happen often?
It happens more often than you'd want it to.
So basically they come and they ask you, can you do my project?
Yeah, they're like, hey, I've got this problem my instructor gave me. Can you get no? It is good to see that students are becoming engaged in KNIME, to have that, be a platform that they're using. But a couple people, we have to re-engage them and say, hey, can you ask the question a different way? Can you tell us what you've tried? Because we're more than happy to help clarify or give you different ways of doing things. But again, we're not going to do your homework for you.
Makes sense.
Do you compare it, for example, to the KNIME forum? Do you see a difference between the Facebook group and the KNIME forums? And if so, what is it like?
Answer seekers. There's not as much individual contributors there. So we've got a few people on the Facebook group that do most of the answering of the questions. Also, more younger people coming to the Facebook group, just asking general questions like, how do I get started? Typically not quite as in-depth use cases to where like I would personally go to the forum and like, hey, I've got something I'm trying to design with a flow variable and I'm hitting a problem here that I need some technical assistance with. It's more just broad concepts questions like, hey, how would I go about starting a sentiment analysis and things like that. And then we can just, direct them to the existing resources that are available.
So if we just look for KNIME on Facebook, we would probably find it?
Yeah, it's probably top 3 search results.
Awesome.
How many members does the group have?
Oh, right now, probably a couple hundred.
That's nice.
So tell us about the project you're working on.
Oh, me? I'm working on any number of things. Right now, forecasting, opportunity scoring. Also, we do a lot of work out of Salesforce. What you have in Salesforce is you have AEs that'll go in and create multiple opportunities for the same ability to sell something. So one of the things I was actually just working on today was creating a model that pulls out all these opportunities and compares them against each other using similarity distances to say, okay, well, these opportunities are most similar to other opportunities in the same account. And then can we take that and go to the AEs and say, are these actual things that we're going to sell? Or are they just, you created 2 because you didn't feel like doing 2 different quotes or something like that. So, yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yes. Okay. I think we can stop here.
Thanks a lot for.
Thank you. Thank
so
you.
make sure you guys look it up on Facebook if you're on Facebook, so that you just join the KNIME community there as well.
think we can stop. Most of the people are assembled in front
Yes.
of the room to enter. There is nobody coming through anymore. So the cowbell hasn't gone on. So I
Yeah,
think.
I have one
There
more
is some
colleague I
more.
want to interview.
Sorry. Please.
So, Anne, welcome to the yellow carpet.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So have you been on a NIME Summit before?
I came in 2018.
And how does it feel to be here again after like so it feels like a decade of being virtual?
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like it was forever ago, but it's nice. It's familiar.
Awesome. So what are you looking at NIME? Can you share at least? I mean, we work in the same company, but can you share on a generic level what you're currently working on in NIME?
Yeah, so I do a lot of robotic process automation. I work in finance and accounting, so we do a lot of, manually or automating the manual Excel tasks, things like, extracting from databases and, making that process go a little faster. And hopefully, eventually, we'll get to the part where we can upload stuff to our, our systems and things like that and do end-to-end automation. But it's really helped us out a lot.
Awesome.
So what's the feature you like the most about NIME?
Ooh. Honestly, I like the visual, the workflow. So I like it being like each step of the way, you know what you're doing. It's very visual. I'm a very visual person, so I don't know if everybody shares that, but I think it's very intuitive and easy to learn that way. And it just makes analytics so accessible for people who aren't necessarily trained in that.
Perfect.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. So thanks a lot for answering the questions. Great to see you again. And we're looking forward to rest of the NIME Summit, I would say.
Definitely. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
you. Bye-bye.
So the last question is for you.
Okay.
Which presentation are you going to attend tomorrow?
I must say I'm not really sure. I just didn't look the agenda, so you just caught me here. These days, I would say I'm a little bit more into these, just like the course today, like the visualization stuff. So how can I make visually appealing stuff for my colleagues and also explain it to them? So, but I must admit, I booked quite early, so I've forgotten which things I'm going to attend tomorrow. Sorry.
So ask me what I'm going to attend.
What are you going to attend? I don't have your own microphone.
So I am really, really curious about the new features of NIME. So tomorrow there is going to be the keynote, and after the keynote there is going to be one or two presentations about the new features of NIME. So let's hope we can report from there tomorrow.
Yes.
I think we can close here because I hear the music from the room.
Yes.
So I think they're starting. Thank you, everybody, for following us. Thank you, Phil, for the collaboration.
Thank you, Rosaria.
And I hope to see you at the next My Data Guest event.
See you at the next event. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, we're done. We are done. So basically, a lot of don't be sorry. It's just like
Great job.
it's quite a few people that
A lot of talking. You guys did a good job, like keeping going.
yeah, me too. Now the nervousness